Welcome back. It is National Healthcare Decisions Week, and it's designed to inspire, educate, and empower the public and healthcare professionals about the importance of advanced care planning.
And we are doing that this morning with attorneys from the Hooper Law Office.
Yeah, Peter Kahns and Sarah Harbach. Sarah Kahns and Peter Harbach are here. I gotta.
You guys are like brother and sister anyway, right?
Interchangeable because they both have such vast knowledge. But let's talk a little bit about the advanced care planning. Why is this so important?
Well, it's necessary for anybody who's 18 or over, because what you're doing is you're naming a person to act for you, whether it's dealing with financial decisions or paying bills, filing taxes, considering what today is, or whether it's being your medical advocate. It's really the opportunity for you to name the people that you want to have the ability to make these decisions for you, and then giving them the tools they need in order to be able to step into that role.
Well, we have a graphic you sent ahead, the different types of planning that people should have in place. So let's run through those.
Sure. So there's 4 primary documents that every estate plan needs. Okay. And these are a medical power of attorney, and that's somebody who can step in and make healthcare decisions if you're incapable of communicating with the doctor yourself. Also a financial power of attorney, which is somebody, as Sarah said, who can step in and make financial decisions. And that's critically important, in particular if people are worried about long-term care or nursing home costs, because that's where you can empower a particular person to step in and perhaps defray some of those costs. There's also a living will, which is your end-of-life decisions, communicating whether or not you'd want to be on life support in particular situations, things like that. And then a HIPAA authorization, which allows the family or whoever you have named access to healthcare information, because that's private information that you have to have a waiver signed or the doctors can't talk to anybody.
So for people who don't have these plans in place, who makes their medical decisions if they're unable to?
It usually ends up being a family member, but it might not be the person that you selected or that would have been the person you wanted, and they certainly don't have the tools that they need in order to perform the job as well as they could have, nor have they had that conversation with you about what your medical decisions really would be, because it happens through a court process as opposed to it just being some documents that you signed in advance.
All right, so you hear these commercials all the time that you can like order these things in the mail and do it yourself, but you really do need an attorney, don't you?
It's certainly ideal to have an attorney involved. There's no legal requirement that an attorney is involved, but people just don't know what they don't know. And so I think it's important for somebody to sit down with an experienced attorney and go through what their options are so they really understand the decisions that they're making. That's what's most critical.
Sure. And families can do this together, meet with an estate planner at Hooper Law.
Absolutely, whether they want to do it in advance, either just the person themselves or just them and their spouse, and then have a family meeting later, or I've had people bring in their entire family for the very first meeting. So it's kind of whatever people are comfortable with.